the camera doesn't have any editing functions. Just play, record, and pause. Monokuma also said that no computer was used to edit the footage, remember?
Damn it! Me and my big mouth!
Which means switching out the victim would not be possible. Also, if the victim was switched, then that would mean Kaito is still alive. We already discussed this so many times. The chance of that happening is impossible.
It might be possible.
Huh?
There could be a trick to make the switch possible. We just haven't noticed it yet.
Yeah, there can be a trick to it. I mean, it does feel like a very classic filming trick technique that people do to fool the audience, and I have seen countless times before in different stories. Damn, those coughs. If only they would just stop. And I'm that serious. If only they would just stop. Because I'm sick and tired of these coughs. Just stop.
Oh, and what trick is that? See? You don't know, do you? I already said it's impossible.
Maki's not wrong. There is a way it could be done. So we can't just give up here.
Hey, Shuichi. I'll think harder about this as well. So, can you confirm whether or not the victims switch places? If Kaito is alive or not?
Shuichi will do his best, Maki. Don't you worry.
Maki.
I don't like the thought that I killed Kaito. I don't want that.
Okay then, let's talk about the possibility that Maki-ro mentioned.
Right on, Him.
Himiko, if you call her that again...
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. Then let's all talk it over together.
And don't forget, you're not alone. Don't try to do everything yourself. It's only gonna wear you out. When times are hard, you gotta rely on your friends.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll figure something out.
Jeez, you guys are a stubborn bunch. There's no trick.
That's probably another lie.
However, if the victims were switched, then that would mean the footage was altered. How could it have been altered when we know that the footage wasn't edited?
If we could figure that out, maybe we'd know how they switched places.
Indeed. Let's all think together, people. We won't know if it's all true or not until we all give it our best.
I knew there was a trick to that video the whole time.
But... Wait, what? You are suspecting it? Do you have an idea?
Kokichi made it, so it's 100% suspicious.
Oh. Well, it is a big factor in why we should think about this again. Kokichi might be tricking us again in some way we don't know. So until we all think about it 100%, we should not eat everything he says. A trick to that video. What could he be? What's suspicious about it?
There must be some trick to that video.
That's what you all gotta figure out!
There is no trick. You can check, but there's no editing function in that camera.
Did the placement of that camera seem suspicious to any of you? The filming angle seemed unnatural, don't you think?
The person in that video. Was it really Kaito?
Something seemed off about that video to me. When the hydraulic press stopped for a brief moment.
Could it be that the video was shot at another location?
Any other bright ideas? Come on, everybody, speak up!
I feel like someone said something that gives us a clue. If we put our heads together, we can find the smallest hope. We won't fall into despair. And this isn't just about hope and despair. This is about relying on each other and fight with our own hands till the very end. Whatever the situation we're in. Let's do this, Shuichi.
There must be some trick to that video.
That's what you all gotta figure out!
There is no trick. You can check, but there's no editing function in that camera.
No editing
The placement
function.
of that camera seem suspicious to any of you? The filming angle seemed unnatural, don't you think?
The person in that video.
Actually,
Was it really Kaito?
maybe Tsumugi's onto something
Off
here.
about that video to me. When the hydraulic press stopped for a brief moment.
Could it be
And Kibo surely is onto something here.
that the video was shot at another location?
Another
Any other
location.
bright ideas? Come on, everybody, speak up!
Actually, before that, let me just see about this.
There must be some trick to that video.
That's what you all gotta figure out!
There is no trick.
I'm gonna fast forward here a little bit.
Don't you think? That the video was shot at another location?
Yes, it was shot at another location. Ah, damn it! No, no. What? Not possible. You paid attention to the footage, right?
Oh no!
Oh, goddamn it, Kokichi! I wanted to hear Pimiko's idea there.
There must be some trick to that video.
Sorry, Himiko. But
You all
maybe
gotta
next time.
figure out.
Let's see.
There is no trick. You can check, but there's no editing function in that camera.
Did the placement of that camera seem suspicious to any of you? The filming angle seemed unnatural, don't you think?
The person in that video. Was it really Kaito?
Something seemed off about that video to me. When the hydraulic press stopped for a brief moment.
Actually, you may be right, Kibo. There you go.
I agree.
Yay, Kibo!
Kibo is onto something. Isn't it weird that the hydraulic press stopped for a second?
Yeah. I wonder. Doesn't it look... The video itself seems strange in the way the hydraulic press moves. Christ. Again, these coughs I'm having just won't stop.
Because when Kibo and I first investigated that hydraulic press,
Yes, that's right. The hydraulic press kept lowering itself without stopping.
but in the video,
The hydraulic press stopped briefly, right before it crushed the body?
But why would it stop?
Why did the press stop? There's only one reason I can think of. Oh! Mine. Alright. Alright, boys. It is time we teach these dense, motherfucking incompetent baboons some motherfucking logic. I may look like the brawny type, but I have my college degree in filmmaking, so I got this. And there is no denying that there are definitely some monkeys in that murder video that we have seen. Alright, okay, well that is That is not what we're looking for. Any other places where we can go? Alright, let's check some of the stuff. What is this? That is a control panel. What is this? Okay, so we have the control panel for the barrier and the control panel for the hydraulic press. Alright, I think we've got this. Ugh. Alright, come on. Just gonna have to get rid of some stuff over here. Also make sure to get rid of some of these stuff. Alright, there you go.
I see it!
I see it! It connects!
The only way to stop the hydraulic press is the force stop button.
Exactly. The sensor was deactivated because of the electro bomb. So the only way to stop it is with the use of the force button.
An electro bomb went off in the hangar, which would have interfered with the safety function. There'd be no way to stop the hydraulic press unless someone used the force stop button.
When you say someone, you mean Kokichi, right? He was the only one there.
Actually, maybe I pressed it by accident. I don't really remember. So what of it? The press only stopped for like a sec. You can't switch the victim in such a short time, can you?
That's true.
Hold on a second, Himiko. Think about it. And don't be tricked by Kokichi again. Yes, you cannot switch the body in that short amount of time. But maybe something else is wrong in that case.
There's also the question of how the bodies got switched while the camera was rolling. That would have clearly been caught on camera.
While the camera was rolling.
Oh, I see. It wasn't just the press that stopped.
Huh? Huh? What do you mean?
If you stop something else at the same time you stop the hydraulic press.
Yes, I see it now. That's how the bodies were switched. Alright, Shuichi. Seems that you are on the right track here. If you stop that, you could have swapped the bodies easily. Wait, what? Another mind game? Okay. So I graduated filmography college way before you all were babies. No, not even that. Before you all sperms. I know my shit, so start digging, you damn dirty apes. Let's see. Okay, so that's the electro bomb. I don't care about that, to be quite honest. What about this? I think we may have found it, boys. We have found gold. 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 Okay, I surely could have done this a lot better, but who cares? Ow. There's this one dinky. It's not even touching the camera. It's just. Well, I guess it. I guess there's one pixel on the camera, but that's about it. Jesus Christ.
I see it. The culprit stopped the video camera at the same time as the hydraulic press.
Ring ding 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 ding.
Then, while the camera was off, they switched the body under the hydraulic press.
It can very well be possible.
After the body was swapped, the press and the camera were started simultaneously. So it just looks like the press stopped for a moment.
That's what I've been saying this whole time!
No, you weren't. Monokuma, you're trying to steal Shuichi's spotlight. Alright, well, I apologize for something here, folks. So I stopped the recording and I restarted it once again, and I accidentally pressed the forward button, so here you have Himiko's next line after what Monokuma said before. That's what I've been saying this whole time! When did he ever say that?
When did you ever say that?
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah.
So they stopped at the same time. The camera position did seem odd to me. But now I get it. The trick wouldn't work unless it was set up there.
Huh? Why?
To get the trick we just described to work, the camera had to be set up precisely.
Shuichi, can you just leave Tsumugi to explain it this time? I mean, she does seem to have an idea, so maybe we can give the poor girl some spotlight too. Let's pin that down. Where was the camera set up? Where was the camera set up, you say? Oh, it did seem pretty close to the hydraulic press, so maybe somewhere over here.
There! The video camera must have been set up somewhere around here. To operate the press and the camera at the same time, you would have to be near the switch.
That's why the video was taken from that unnatural angle. If they were recording it like normal, they would have used a better angle.
And if it was recorded at such an odd angle, then that proves the trick was used.
Camera angles, huh? Looks like your cosplayer experience is finally useful.
Well, you cannot say that cosplaying ideas can always be useful in solving class trials, Himiko. I mean, same way goes with being an entomologist.
Well, cosplay doesn't really come up all that much in class trials.
There was a reason the camera was set up there, but also a reason for the height. When the press was stopped, you couldn't really see who was inside it, correct? That was intentional. The body is mostly hidden by the press, making the swap easier.
Exactly. 'Cause if it were positioned somewhere else, say in front of the hydraulic press at a normal angle, like Tsumugi would say, like at the same level as the body, then even with the switch, we would have seen the real body get crushed in the last nanosecond. But from here, it's a bit difficult to spot.
The camera must have been placed at such a high position, so it would produce that angle.
I wonder if they used that tripod in the hangar to adjust the camera's height.
The tripod?
Did they get that from the warehouse too? Jeez, that place is like a 4D pocket.
Or like a Rocket Punch Market Danganronpa reference.
You don't get to make that reference.
What, you mean the 4D pocket? Actually, come to think of it, what does it reference anyway?
Then, that logic is correct, right? Kokichi used that video angle trick and switched the victim in the hydraulic press. In that case, Kaito is...
Or he was crushed by the press. He was swapped with a different body. So Kaito's still alive!
Hooray!
Well, wait just a minute.
Oh, sheesh. Can I just be happy for more than 5 seconds? I know there is still some stuff to be talked about before we could arrive to that conclusion, or it can be that he's still dead by the arrow, but Just let me happy for like 5 seconds, damn it.
What? But I just summed it up so nicely.
Don't worry, Himiko. You'll get it next time.
Himiko, the different body you mentioned, what are you talking about?
The bodies from the other cases. Kokichi's the mastermind, so he... Wait, the mastermind?
Yeah, now you remember, Himiko. We discussed before that Kokichi's stance. We discussed before about Kokichi's stance, whether he is the mastermind or not. And we concluded that he isn't. Therefore, it wouldn't be possible for him to switch bodies with any of the students that already died before.
Yeah, Kokichi isn't the mastermind, so... I don't think he'd be able to produce a body to switch out.
What?
Well, Monokuma, do the rules allow for a body to be reused?
Very well. I'll answer that.
You're giving in pretty easily.
Well, it's crucial information to make the trial fair. This discussion is pointless if it's not clear what the culprit was allowed to do, right?
You're a convenient mastermind, but I guess that makes defeating you worth my time.
Now then, regarding the reuse of a dead body. That is impossible! All the dead bodies have already been thrown away.
Wait, hold on a second. Thrown away where? What did you do to their bodies, you sack of shit?
Thrown away?
The other bodies are gone? Then who did Kaito switch places with?
Kokichi and Kaito were the only ones in the hangar at the time. If they were the only ones present during the body swapping trick, then the real victim was... the other person in the hangar. If it wasn't an old body, it could only be...
What's wrong, Shuichi? Who did Kaito switch places with?
Maki, I think I missed something very important here.
Something important?
If I have the timeline right, there were only 2 people in the hangar at the time. Which means that something had to have been decided before. I have to pin that down. Cannot let anything escape me this time. We are so close to figuring out the truth, Shuichi. If what I'm thinking of will end up being true, then my god, is this gonna shock everyone. Okay. How were the bodies swapped if only 2 people were in the hangar? How were the bodies swapped if only 2 people were in the hangar? And it's 2 words, each with 6 letters. M-T-I-C-M-V. Okay, so it's V. Is it victim again? Actually, let's see. Vic. Yeah, it must be victim. It has to be victim something. God damn it, focus. Alright, well, until I regenerate my focus over here. Actually, I think I saw it. Oops, never mind. I forgot that I actually put C before. Okay, so T I M. Okay, now we're on to something else over here. Victim. Victim swap? Nah, that's not swap. HED. LP. Taking a shot in the dark over here. It doesn't start with an L. Maybe with an H? Okay, so it's H. I don't know. It always feels like... It always feels like... There will always be like the next 4 letters like each time. For example, when we had the first... When we had to figure out the first letter. It had V, that C, that I, that T. And now we have letters that follow it. There's never gonna be like a past letter that we used. So I guess that's good. And if I'm to think of it this way, it only has one vocal, and that is E. So it can either be 1 E or 2 E's. Actually, there is nothing else that would follow H other than E, otherwise it wouldn't be great. So, hept... L? LED... P... Oh! Helped, isn't it? Yeah, there you go. God damn it. God damn, this focus is just so poopy that I have to use my focus for this. I mean, I could use skills that would help me in the trials and like Chin the Hangman's Gambit, but eh.
I can't believe I overlooked this. What do you mean? There were only 2 people in the hangar at the time the bodies were swapped. Which means they were working together.
Oh my good lord. This is quite surprising, I won't lie. Kokichi and Kaito?
Huh? Working together?
The only 2 people involved in the swap were the victim and the culprit. The culprit was operating the camera and the hydraulic press, while the victim lay inside. If they switched places while the press and the camera were stopped, then the person who turned the camera and the press back on was the original victim.
Indeed. The person that was originally considered a victim who would get crushed by the culprit swaps places, and the victim becomes the culprit, and vice versa. There is no other way this would have happened unless they worked together.
To put it simply, both people operated the press and camera at different times.
Because it's not possible for somebody to have switched the places and for the control panel and the camera to work all by themselves.
An impossible trick, unless the victim and culprit agreed to cooperate beforehand.
The victim culprit cooperated? Is that even possible?
It sounds bizarre, but perhaps that was the whole point.
By making us think that Kokichi and Kaito would never cooperate in anything, can also be a factor in actually tricking us into believing it was something else.
Commit a crime that was so confusing, even Monokuma would be tricked.
Jeez, this culprit's a real jerk. So, have you realized who done it yet?
The culprit of the case. If my detective work hasn't failed me, the culprit is inside that exisal. It can only be them. Ugh. Even if I was thinking about this, it is still hard to believe it actually, but it can be none other than him.
The apparent victim we saw in the video was Kaito, which means Kokichi was operating the hydraulic press and camera at first. If the two of them switched while the press was stopped, then the culprit who started the hydraulic press again and crushed Kokichi must be Kaito.
Kaito. If we're right about this, it means that you killed Kokichi. And you tried to trick Monokuma with this presumed impossible to solve case.
So, the person inside that exisal isn't Kokichi. It has to be Kaito.
What did you say?
The fact that you have an injury that makes you not able to stand, and you cannot exit the ISSO because of it. That was a lie too, wasn't it? Because the only injuries you had were on the left arm. It can't be possible you lied about that as an excuse to hide in the exisal.
So the culprit for this case is Kaito Momota. That is what the ultimate detective has deduced, right?
Kaito is the culprit? What? You're joking, right? You can't be serious.
I don't want to believe it either, but it's the only way any of this makes sense. My detective work has led me to the conclusion that Kaito is the culprit.
Is that true? Is Kaito really in there?
Hey, answer us! If you really are Kaito, then...
I'm the culprit.
Yeah? Huh?
There's just no way that Kaito can still be alive. Because I'm the culprit.
Maki, no.
Wait, you? But didn't you say...
I saw it with my own eyes. Kokichi drank the antidote that he stole from Kaito. There's no doubt Kaito died. And he died because of my poison arrow.
Huh. You do have a point. If Kokichi drank all that antidote, then Kaito surviving this whole time without said antidote is very questionable.
But you told us you didn't want to kill Kaito.
Yes, I never wanted to. I wanted to believe that I didn't kill him. But the truth speaks differently. In the end, I was just running away from the facts.
Huh? I don't understand.
Maki, are you trying to protect Kaito? And that is what it seems like. It's not that she's just running from the facts, as she's saying, but she's running away from the thought that Kaito would ever murder someone. And the fact that she saw Kokichi drink the antidote right in front of her makes her truly believe that she killed him. That Kaito would never murder someone. If he's the culprit, you're trying to help him get away?
There was only one antidote, so it's more likely he died from my poison arrow. This is the truth.
It's not decided yet. I could have still killed him with the hydraulic press. Either way, those are the two options. Monokuma knows the answer, right?
Huh? Are those the only options?
I guess that's how things turned out.
No, that can't be. The person in that exisal is...
It's not Kaito! I saw Kokichi drink the antidote! There's no mistake. Kaito is dead. I killed Kaito. There is absolutely no doubt. That's the truth.
I thought so. Maki is trying to protect Kaito. I understand how she feels. But if Kaito is the culprit, why did he agree to Kokichi's plan? Him agreeing to Kokichi's plan. Why? Is it really because they both have something in mind that they want to have it be done till the very end? Was it that Kaito really accepted at first? I don't think so. If Kokichi wanted Kaito to cooperate with him, then surely Kaito would have had something to say at first, that he wouldn't agree with whatever Kokichi would say. He knew Kokichi. In his eyes, he was the most malicious person. So no way would Kaito ever trust Kokichi with whatever he had in mind at first. But maybe... I cannot imagine that Kaito would do something so selfish. There must be a reason for it. I truly believe that. But I have to get to the bottom of this before I can uncover the truth.
But Maki, you don't know for certain that Kokichi drank the antidote.
What?
You saw him drink it right in front of you, but you couldn't confirm he actually did it.
Indeed. Shuichi's possibility may also very well be possible. You cannot say that you killing Kaito is the only option left.
So maybe there's another possibility.
What are you talking about? Impossible. That's impossible. There is no other possibility. I killed Kaito!